Have you ever passed by a tree so eerie that it sent shivers down your spine? What if I told you, in a small village in Madhya Pradesh, there stands a tree that holds a terrifying secret? A secret so disturbing that those who came too close never returned the same. Tonight, I'll share with you the true story of two young girls who stumbled upon something they should have never seen. Stay with me, but beware, after this story, you might never look at trees the same way again. It was the summer of 1996, in a small village nestled deep in the forests of Madhya Pradesh. Life in the village was simple, with villagers going about their daily routines, farming, and taking care of their families. But there was one place that everyone avoided, a large, ancient tree on the outskirts of the village. The tree stood alone, its twisted branches reaching out like skeletal arms, casting long shadows on the ground beneath. Villagers whispered that the tree was cursed, that anyone who went near it after sunset would never return the same. Some claimed it was haunted by the spirits of those who had died near the tree many years ago. Others believed it was a portal to another world, where the living and the dead met. But not everyone believed in these stories. Anjali and Meera, two teenage girls, were best friends who lived just a few houses apart. One evening, they were returning home from the nearby town after running errands for their families. The sun had begun to set, casting an orange glow across the fields. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves of the trees. Anjali, always the braver of the two, suggested a shortcut through the woods. Meera hesitated. "Are you sure? We'll pass by that tree," she said, her voice trembling slightly. Anjali laughed. "Oh, come on, Meera. Those are just stories. We'll be home faster this way. Don't tell me you're scared of an old tree." Reluctantly, Meera agreed, and the two set off down the narrow path through the woods. As they walked, the trees around them grew taller, their branches intertwining like a dark canopy overhead. The air grew colder, and the sounds of the village faded away until all that remained was the sound of their footsteps on the dirt path. And then, they saw it, the tree. It stood taller and darker than any other in the forest, its bark gnarled and twisted, its roots jutting out from the ground like claws. The wind seemed to still as they approached, and an eerie silence fell over the forest. Even the birds, which had been chirping moments before, were now quiet. Meera grabbed Anjali's arm. "Let's just go the long way," she whispered, her eyes fixed on the tree. But before Anjali could respond, something strange happened. The air around them grew thick, almost suffocating. The wind picked up again, but it wasn't the natural breeze they had felt earlier. It was cold, unnaturally cold. The branches of the tree began to sway violently, even though the other trees around it stood still. Anjali and Meera froze in place, their eyes wide with fear. Suddenly, a low whisper echoed through the trees. It was faint at first, but then it grew louder, as if someone, or something, was calling to them from the depths of the tree. "Do you hear that?" Meera asked, her voice barely a whisper. Anjali nodded, her bravado gone. "We need to leave," she said, but when they tried to move, they found they couldn't. Their feet felt like they were glued to the ground. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and the branches of the tree began to twist and bend, reaching toward the girls as if they were alive. In the blink of an eye, a dark figure appeared beneath the tree. It was tall and thin, its features shrouded in shadow. The figure stood motionless, watching them with eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. The girls tried to scream, but no sound escaped their lips. They were paralyzed with fear. The figure began to move closer, its footsteps slow and deliberate, crunching on the dry leaves beneath it. As it approached, the temperature dropped even further, and the girls could see their breath in the air. Just as the figure was about to reach them, something broke the spell. A loud snap echoed through the forest, one of the branches had broken and fallen to the ground. The girls, now able to move, bolted from the spot, running as fast as they could down the path and back toward the village. They didn't stop until they reached the safety of their homes. When they finally caught their breath, they told their families what had happened. But no one believed them. The village elders warned them never to speak of the tree again, saying that it was bad luck to even mention it. But Anjali and Mira knew what they had seen. The story of the haunted tree wasn't just a local legend. According to the elders, many years ago, a group of travelers had camped under the tree, not knowing its dark history. That night, strange things began to happen. The travelers reported hearing whispers in the wind and seeing shadows moving in the trees. The next morning, only one traveler was found, babbling incoherently about dark figures and voices. He died shortly after, his face frozen in terror. Since then, the villagers believed that the tree was cursed, haunted by the spirits of those who had died there. It was said that the tree had become a gateway between the world of the living and the dead. And anyone who ventured too close risked being trapped between the two worlds forever. Anjali and Mira never took that shortcut again. To this day, the tree still stands on the outskirts of the village, untouched and avoided by all who know its story. But the question remains, what truly lurks in the shadows of that tree? Is it just a legend, or is there something far more sinister at play? Next time you walk through the woods, be careful. Because some places are haunted for a reason, and not all spirits rest in peace. Do you believe in haunted trees? Let us know in the comments below, if you dare.